Miss Mary. Last week we learned about the Last Supper. What did Jesus do after?
I'm so glad that you asked that question, Eli, because that means I get to tell you the next part of the Easter story.
After the Passover meal, Jesus knew that the time was quickly approaching for him to die on the cross. So he went to the Garden of Gethsemane with his disciples to pray. And he asked God, "Please don't let me die on the cross, but if this is what you want for your people, then I will do it." When morning came, the guards came to arrest Jesus, and they tied him up with rope to take him to die on the cross.
There's a few things that I want you to remember from today's part of the Easter story. First of all, Jesus, even though he was perfect, he still felt the same type of feelings that you and I feel. He was feeling sad, he was feeling a little afraid, and he even wasn't sure completely why this had to happen to him. But the first thing that Jesus decided to do was to pray. He went into this garden and he took this time to talk to God about what was going on. Also, what he said in his prayer is very important. Jesus said, "I don't want this to happen." And he even asked God to not let it happen. But he said, "If this is what you want, then I will do it." Jesus was obedient to what God was wanting him to do because he knew that God had a plan and it was a great plan. And even though right now he was hurting in this moment, he was afraid and he was sad, he knew that if this is what God wanted, then it was right. And so sometimes we experience moments that make us sad or afraid. In fact, we're probably all feeling like that right now with all that we're going through in this world. We see things, we hear things that make us scared and afraid. We're sad because we can't be at church, we can't be at school, and we don't get to even see all of our family. But Jesus taught us a very good lesson here in how he prayed to the Father. And he said, "God, I want you to stop this." And it's okay if we ever feel like, "I really want this to stop." It's okay to tell God that. It's okay to tell him what's on our heart and what we're feeling. But Jesus said, "If this is your will, Father, then I will be obedient to you." We have to be obedient too, that no matter what, even if we can't understand what's happening, even if it makes us sad, we have to trust that God's plan is bigger and better than what we're even able to think about in our own heads, because he is so much bigger, he's so much mightier, and he can see things that we can't see. And so we have to trust him, just like Jesus trusted him. In fact, this story has a really happy ending. And so even though Jesus was sad and it made him a little afraid, God's plan really was so awesome. And the ending of the story just shows us just how good God is. And even in those moments when we're sad and we even feel alone and we don't understand, we can trust that God is good and God can be trusted, and all we have to do is just keep our eyes on him. Now, I'm not going to tell you the rest of the story yet, but I want you to stay tuned for next week because we are going to hear the rest of the story, and I promise it's going to be a very happy ending. Love you guys.